okay, paying off the student loan will not fix the problem in your marriage.
Yeah.
The problem in your marriage is that there's no unity.
There's no unity.
There's
a lack of unity. There's a lack of trust. There's a lack of connection. This is why, and again, we're going to get probably a lot of backlash for this, but this is why the 2 bank account system, in my opinion, is bogus.
Nope.
If you want intimacy and true intimacy in marriage, you have one account. Everything's transparent. You guys share the same money. I don't make the money. Like, Haley doesn't say like, oh, well, you're like the money maker. It's like, we make money, right? Like, yeah, I technically make the money, but it's not my money. It's our money. Like, she does just as much for me as I do for her. Like, we're a team.
And you make the money. I have no issue acknowledging that. But I do believe the money is just as much mine as it is yours. And so I think this marriage is in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of issues here. Welcome back to another episode of the Married with Muchkas podcast. We are Richard and Haley Muchka. We have been married for 12 years. We've got 4 small kids. We run a home-based business and we homeschool and
all the things.
All things home. Our home is very, very lived in. And our slogan here on this show is what?
Building a marriage you love coming home to.
Yep,
I feel like a sense of like
panic
when you ask me that question. I'm like, shoot, what is it?
Building a marriage you love coming home to.
That's right.
And that's our goal.
That is right.
Anything else you want to add to our little intro?
No,
Anything
that is, no, I think that's a beautiful intro. Today's going to be a little bit different though.
Yeah, today's going to be fun.
Today's going to be spicy. Well, we'll see how spicy it gets.
But before we do that, last week's episode was The Art of Keeping Attraction Alive.
Yep.
Where we talked about the 3 different types of attraction: physical, emotional, and spiritual.
That's right.
And we kind of dove into those and how all 3 of those work together to be really important. And no one really by itself is enough. So you've got to kind of have all 3.
That's right.
So that was last week. So this week we are getting into, we're doing another reaction episode. So we do these kind of sprinkled in every so often. And this one we're going over. So Richard has 2 and I have 2 that we haven't talked about before.
Nope.
And it's the AITA from Reddit.
What does it stand for?
Am I the a-hole? So,
asshole.
Thank you. It's people that go in, they share these scenarios that they're experiencing in their life and they want to know like, hey, am I wrong or is the other people or person wrong in this scenario?
100%.
And so we're going to talk about them. I think it's going to be really fun.
I should be. I hope it's
I always
fun.
get a kick out of reading these when they show up on my social media. Sometimes they can be so ridiculous, but
they throw it out there.
They really throw it out there. So do you want to start with one of yours or do you want me to start?
Let's do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Best, just whoever wins.
Best out of 1. Right. Okay, ready?
Rock, paper, scissors. Shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Shoot. You win. So you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Okay, I'll go first.
You go first? Okay.
Okay. So the title of this one is In-Laws Are Straining My Marriage, but It's My Fault, apparently. So that's the title.
Am I the asshole?
That's it. Stop saying that. Kids might be listening.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Okay. So here's the story.
Yeah, give us the context.
It says, my first post, so bear with me. About a year ago, me, 28 female, and my husband, 30 male, allowed my brother-in-law, 19, to move in with us to get out of a rough situation and help him start adulting. This was about May of last year. I agreed to have him move in with the promise from the brother-in-law and husband that it was only going to be for a couple of months until brother-in-law found a roommate to move out with. He is also to pay some rent monthly as he has a full-time job now, keep his area clean, and help out around the house. Keep in mind, I have 2 children under the age of 5 and also work, and I'm still the housekeeper, cleaning, cooking food, etc., while my husband also works about 60 hours a week. Fast forward those couple of months, no luck on finding a roommate. Brother-in-law is still living with us. Okay, he's young. I'm just going to give him some time to figure this out. I'm trying to be understanding and gracious, as I also had a hard time getting on my feet at that age. I've confronted brother-in-law a few times asking, so how's the roommate search going? Are you found an apartment yet? Only to be answered with shrugs and I don't know. I will say... He'll say that he's working on it. Frustrated, it's Christmas time now, so it started in May, now it's December. It's Christmas time now, and he's requesting to have his girlfriend of 2 years who lives out of state to move in with the promise that she has a job and they will move out in 1 month. I tell my husband that I'm not comfortable with it, as brother-in-law was not supposed to be here at this time in the first place. Husband says I'm overreacting and starts making comments making me sound like I don't care about his family. Angry, I just shut down and kept my mouth shut to avoid the argument. That's my next mistake. The girlfriend moves in and, surprise, surprise, doesn't have a job and claims she's been looking for one for 3 months now since living under my roof. Fast forward to now, rent is not being paid anymore. The cleaning of their own areas has stopped, and they have been absolutely not trying to find a way to move out of my home. I've been asking brother-in-law questions to keep myself. I quit asking my brother-in-law questions to keep myself from being furious and directed my questions towards my husband. At this point, I'm done trusting that my husband has any plan to control in this situation, which is driving me insane. Anytime I bring it up to my husband, I'm met with hostility and accusations of just wanting to throw his family out on the street and that I shouldn't be upset with this because I agreed to it. Agreed to what? Yes, I agreed to brother-in-law moving in for a couple of months. Yes, I graciously gave him extra time to figure things out. At this point, I no longer feel comfortable in my own home, and every day me and my husband argue about it, which always turns into very ugly outcomes. We don't even sleep in the same bed anymore. I'm annoyed that I've been conned into taking on 2 grown adults while trying to raise my own family. I'm angry that I'm being made out to be the bad guy when all I wanted was to be helpful. I don't know what to do anymore. I guess my main question to the Reddit world is, am I the a-hole because I let this happen in the first place? What is your take on that one?
So my initial gut reaction is a whole lot of not good stuff. So this is okay. So number one, I think the very beginning was like the holy grail of it all. So, and I do this all the time in like business where I'm like, okay, I get somebody on board, I hire them, I do something, and I don't set the proper expectations up front where I define the rules of the game. And so I think in the beginning, if she said, okay, husband, listen, we're going to bring the brother-in-law in. I want to help. However, let me define the rules of the game. Okay. It's 2 months max. So I just want to let you know it's 2 months max. If it's not, we're going to kick him out, not kick him out, but hey, he's going to move out. And I just want to let you know that up front. So that way it's like, it doesn't become a surprise later.
Right.
Right. And then it's like, hey, by the way, listen, and now the whole girlfriend thing, that's like, that should never happen. Right. Not only because it's another person, but now you have a girlfriend and you have your husband too. Who knows? You know, that becomes weird.
Well, that's what I was going to say is like, even though he's the brother-in-law, that's still an adult male in your home. I think as a precedence, that should never happen.
That should never happen. You
Right?
can't. Like, that's too dangerous with
If
a lot of
it was
things.
the wife's brother, I wouldn't have as big a concern with it, but because it's her husband's brother.
Yeah. And by the way, just from a biblical perspective, that should never happen, right? Like, we don't believe in sex before marriage. We don't believe in moving in before marriage. So that whole thing would never happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, in our household, this whole situation would never happen. However, I don't. So to answer the question, do I think she is the a-hole? No, I don't. However, I don't think she set the proper expectations in the beginning. So is it kind of her fault? Yes, I would say. Because I think if the rules of the game were defined, then this would have never been an issue. It would have been like, okay, me and you are on the same page. 2 months happens. He doesn't have a job. That's fine. We're kicking him out, and we're going to let him know that up front as well.
Right.
We're going to give you 2 months.
And that's all fine. But we've been in this situation before where we even sat down, had the conversation, set the ground rules of, hey, if these expectations aren't met, I'm going to have to let you go. But then when it comes time to actually let that person go because the expectations aren't met, it's very, very hard to do.
But if
so
you
actually,
I've ran into that tons of times. It's because I don't set the expectations up front. And that is the biggest, I think that is the biggest thing in this whole conversation.
Babe, there is a situation in our life right now
Yes.
that you are having a very hard time addressing.
Because I didn't set the
yes,
proper
you did.
expectations.
I was sitting there when you had the conversation. Yes, you did. But it can be very hard to
It's
do.
very hard.
Actually
It's
do. Like
very, very
actually
hard.
kicking your brother out
Yeah.
of your home is very hard to do.
But bottom line, look, I think if the wife and the husband take a step back, what's more important? This
Their
whole
marriage.
relationship or their marriage?
Of course.
You got to prioritize the marriage.
Yes.
Now, it's very hard because there's emotions involved. But my advice is, look, as a married couple, take a step back. Remove the whole situation. Go back to what is really important right now. And it's the marriage. So you got to prioritize that. I think everything else becomes secondary. And it's tough conversations, though.
Yeah, they are tough
They're
conversations.
tough conversations.
And to me, if I had to guess, and I would be reading into the situation a lot, but I would think that the husband in this situation is kind of being run ragged by his family of origin.
Oh, of course.
And his brothers working him, and his parents are, you can't kick your brother out.
He's feeling the pressure.
He's feeling pressure.
Yeah.
So really, this situation should never have happened in the first place.
Shouldn't have.
And this is a classic, like, sometimes what we think is being helpful is actually not helpful.
Yes.
You know, and it's like you thought you were helping him out to get on his feet so he could start adulting. Well, now he's not adulting under your roof because he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
And so it would have been better for him to figure out adulthood if he had to actually figure it out.
Yeah.
So you're not actually meeting the goal that you set out to do.
So now let's answer the question. Is she
No.
yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I say no.
I would say
But it is partly her fault.
partly her fault.
But she's not an a-hole.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All
Okay.
right. Let's see. What do you got?
Now,
for
I'm
us?
not going to give like the whole thing. I'm going to give a backstory. So, okay.
Okay.
AITAH for
Mm-hmm.
telling my wife she shouldn't have married me if she expected intimacy. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So here's the context. A husband admits he's been avoiding physical intimacy for years, claiming he's just not that interested anymore. His wife confronts him, saying she feels unloved and rejected. Okay. He fires back. He says, well, you shouldn't have married me if you expected intimacy. Now, the internet is split in two camps. Okay. One side says that he's cruel and selfish. All right. The other side says, well, he's allowed to have lower libido because that's maybe what he has, just lower libido, and he shouldn't be shamed for that. Like maybe he just is not as sexually driven as other men, and she shouldn't shame him for that, and she should just love him for who he is. So what's your take?
He is 100% the a-hole. I think getting married to somebody with the expectation of physical intimacy is a reasonable expectation. I think it's like a given expectation.
Yeah.
I think that low libido is fine, but you also have to be there to meet your wife's needs,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, say you are having male
Now,
issues.
to add a little bit to the icing to the cake, in this thread, what if he wasn't intimate before they got married?
Well, he shouldn't have been.
Well, I know, but again, I'm just saying that's
Or
a little bit of an icing on the cake.
If he like expressed that he didn't have much of an interest for that, I mean, I don't think you get married and have that stance.
Yeah.
I think then you shouldn't have gotten married. I think, but like, say you have male erectile dysfunction or something. There
Yeah.
are other things you can still do to meet your wife's needs. I don't think you get to write her
That's a
off.
good point. That's a good point.
I think in a marriage you don't get to do that. I think he's 100% the a-hole.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, this is an interesting one.
And he should probably go get his hormones checked because that's not normal.
Yeah, I should get his hormones checked, right? Because this is an interesting one. I've seen struggles with this in marriage where it's like one person is very sexually, but the other person is just not for whatever reason, and it causes a lot of issues.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think both people have to be selfless, right? Like,
Yeah.
as a spouse who's maybe not as sexually driven, you have to recognize that your spouse is and like meet that need. But then also, okay, you can also say, okay, you know what? My wife's really tired. She hasn't slept well, or, you know, the baby kept her up all night, or she's sick. I'll lay off tonight. You know, like you can do that too. And you should do that. But if your stance
Yeah.
is just like, we're just not going to have an intimate marriage, you're an a-hole.
Yeah, for sure. I think, dude, look, you got married. This is my thoughts. You got married. You might have lower libido. You should get it checked. Even if you do, you got to man up and
gotta-
satisfy.
Yes,
that.
which I would
That is
tell
a
a
covenant
woman.
between God.
I would
Now, I
tell a
don't know if
woman
they're
the same
Christians,
thing
but
too.
Yeah,
Like you can't just say, "Oh, I'm not interested, so we're not doing that."
yeah. No, you can't.
You can't do
because
that.
now it's not only your body, it's her body. It's your yeah.
And especially if you want a monogamous relationship, you're the only place your partner can get that need met, and it is a legitimate need. I think it's wrong to say that that's not a legitimate need. And so,
It's a core driver.
right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's any scenario that guy's not the a-hole. And I think everyone who's saying he's not the a-hole is also the a-hole with him.
Okay, so your camp is what? He is the a-hole.
He is the a-hole.
I agree.
100%.
He is the a-hole.
You
You don't
don't-
get
you
to
don't get to do
claim.
that.
You don't get to claim that. It's a good try. Oh well, don't shame me for having lower libido.
No,
Sorry, dude.
honestly, screw that guy.
Yeah. So
That one made
screw
me
it.
mad.
Yeah.
I don't like
anyways.
that guy.
Cool.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay off my husband's pre-marriage student loans with my pre-marriage savings?
Wait. Say it again.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay off my husband's pre-marriage student loans with my pre-marriage savings?
Say it one more time. I have a hard time with
Okay,
reading.
I'm going to read
comprehension.
the story.
Okay, see it. Yeah.
Husband has a pre-marriage student loan abroad that he's refusing to pay off. He probably has 3 times the amount in savings, but refuses to pay off his loan. I have exactly that amount saved in my account abroad. He hinted multiple times that I should pay off his loan using my own savings from that account. He keeps saying things like, we're married, your money is our money, my debt is our debt. We should use our money to pay off our debt. When I refuse, he would gaslight me by calling me stingy and saying how I benefit from his education, how his education brings in more money for the family, so I should pay off his loan. The funny thing is, I make more than him, and I never asked him to pay my student loans. I worked hard during university, worked hard afterwards, saved strategically, and paid it all off by myself. Not a single dime was from him. He also tries to gaslight me by saying things like, are you going to leave me? Are you planning to leave me? Will you? So stupid. If it truly doesn't matter, then why doesn't he use his money to pay off his loan? This marriage has such bigger issues than a student loan.
A lot of issues here. A lot of issues here.
This one annoys me too. But anyways, you go ahead.
Okay, so let me just clarify this. He has student loans.
Yes.
He is mad because his wife will not pay off the student loans. And she won't touch it. And he won't touch it. And he thinks, well, my wife should do this. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Look, at the end of the day, you guys are a team, right? Marriage is a team. And this is not his burden. This is their burden, right? So it's like the whole fact that they're like taking sides, like this is yours and this is mine, this is not mine. That in itself is weird.
Well,
right?
even like, but they're not even talking just about the loan in that way. They're talking about he has his savings and she has her savings. It's like, this is ridiculous. That's not the thing. It's like you're one. This is how me and Haley believe. Yes.
We share all the finances. We have one bank account. We're both on the bank account. Everything's split. It's not her money. It's not my money. We're married.
And so it says it has an update here. It says, we had a long and emotional discussion afterward. He said it wasn't completely serious and apologized for hurting my feelings and breaking my trust in him. He agreed to pay off his student loan entirely by the end of the year using his own money, of course.
Yeah, but I'll see how this goes. Phrase.
Okay. Paying off the student loan will not fix the problem in your marriage. Yeah. The problem in your marriage is that there's no unity.
There's no unity.
There's
a lack of unity. There's a lack of trust. There's a lack of connection. This is why, and again, we're going to get probably a lot of backlash for this, but this is why the 2 bank account system, in my opinion, is bogus.
Nope.
If you want intimacy and true intimacy in marriage, you have one account. Everything's transparent. You guys share the same money. I don't make the money. Like Haley doesn't say like, oh, well, you're like the money maker. It's like we make money, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I technically make the money, but it's not my money. It's our money. Like she does just as much for me as I do for her. Like we're a team.
And you make the money. I have no issue acknowledging that. But I do believe the money is just as much mine as it is yours. And so I think this marriage is in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of issues here. Yeah, but I would just talking to the listener, if you are considering getting money, or if you already are married and you're having some of these thoughts, pre-marriage debt, post-marriage debt, it doesn't matter. When you get married, you're absorbing that.
That's a combined burden.
As a family.
That's a family burden.
That is now, it is all one. Your savings is one. Your paycheck is one.
Combine it all, baby.
Combine it all.
Yep.
Combine the debt, and then you don't need to keep tit for tat of, oh, your debt was bigger than mine, and let it go. It is now just all one.
It's you and your husband, man, versus the world. It's not you. Oh, I'm on this camp. You're on this camp, and sometimes we're going to come together, but we're going to be here.
Right, and then it's like it's a competition. Like, oh, I have no debt, but you still have all this, and I paid off mine.
It's just weird.
It's like that. Oh, don't do that.
It's just weird.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So okay. What's the question? Who's the a-hole? Who would it be? Is it the wife or the husband?
I think they're both the a-hole for structuring their finances in that way, but it seems like it's more so her than him. I would say in this situation, she is.
Yeah. Let's just go with this. They're both a-holes.
They're both a-holes. Everyone sucks here. That's
a-hole. Okay, gotcha.
Now your last one. So this is kind of
you did your 2? I did. Okay,
I did
mine?
2. Yeah.
Okay, so bear with me on this one. Okay.
Okay.
Because there's context behind it. AITA for telling my wife I won't be as stressed next year because I won't be married to her.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, I would love the context of that
here's
one.
the context. They're in an argument. They're kind of getting a little heated. And then the husband kind of sarcastically says it. He goes, hey, I won't be as stressed next year because I won't be married to you. And it's like out of frustration. He says it sarcastically. He's not really like mean it. Well, again, he insists later it was just a joke. Like I wasn't being on it. Like it was just a joke. And then I guess now she's devastated. She's like, listen, that comment was hurtful, like out of line. I've lost some trust in you. I've lost my ability to respect you. And so now there's a debate about the emotional abuse versus bad humor. And so that's where the camps are. Like some people are saying, dude, that's abusive, that you can't do that. You broke her trust. Like she can't get over that. Others are just saying, listen, it was bad humor. He shouldn't have said it, but it was a joke. Get over it. It's not that bad. Right? What do you think?
Okay. So you and I are very much at the mind of that word divorce, that context of divorce does not ever come up. It 100%. Is not in thought process. It's not in the vocabulary. It was 100% bad taste and a terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
So in that way, I would say he's the a-hole, 100%. That shouldn't have come out of his mouth. It's not funny. It was, and if they were in the middle of an argument, I don't completely believe that it was to be funny. Yeah. I think maybe he didn't mean it, but I don't think it was to be funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think it was cruel. I think it was mean.
Yeah.
And I think that she should have a problem with it. Okay. However, this idea that she can't get over it, you can get over anything. So yes, you can.
Yeah.
Put your big girl pants on, talk through it, work through it, but you can't get over it, and you can't keep going back to it all the time. Like we gotta grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
where's the line there? Because that's how she's taking it. She's almost taking it now. Like my husband is like that's abusive. Like I can't trust you as much anymore. Like. How much of that line is kind of getting out of control? Do you agree with it? Is it kind of like, just kind of let it go?
It was something he shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
Of course it was in bad taste. Of course it was mean. I think that emotionally abusive is a massive stretch. I mean, and I don't think you're helping yourself to like sit there and label it with that.
Yeah.
I think she's got to put her big girl pants on.
Yeah. Which means what? Just like, hey, listen, it shouldn't have been said.
And now we're moving
address
on.
It, but then move on.
And now we're moving on.
Yeah, we're moving on. Yeah.
Yes.
That's where I like to. I mean, I think you and I see eye to eye on this one. I mean, that was a dumb move.
Like, he should never have said that.
Should never say that. It should never come out. It doesn't matter if it's a joke, sarcastic. It's like, that's going to hurt anybody. If you're a wife.
It's going to break trust, and you're going to have to deal with the ramifications.
It's going to break some trust. However, I think the context more so is like, okay, well, who is your husband really? Like, she knows that more than anybody. So there might be a lot more backstory to this where they're fighting constantly. There's a lot of mistrust already because, we're always in these arguments. And so this could have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Could have been.
And I'm leaning more towards that because if it was just a one-off comment, it's like if my husband's always great, we always have a great relationship. We're really emotionally connected. And then he does this one-off comment. You would know, like, from your husband, like, that was a super, like, bonehead, just stupid thing that he did. And
although I do think if you said that to me, and we do have a great relationship and whatever, I think that would be heartbreaking. So I can understand the heartbreak. But
yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
That as a standalone thing is, like, you can't go file divorce and claim abuse because of that. I think that's silly.
Yeah. Well, I think the big takeaway here is if you're a husband, don't say
that.
Don't say
I mean, what
that.
a stupid thing to say.
That was retarded. Not good.
And like, I can understand like even like the humor aspect of like, okay, but it's just, you can't go there.
Don't go there.
You can't go there.
So what's the final verdict? He is the a-hole.
He's the a-hole and she's got to put on her big girl pants.
I agree.
That's the final verdict.
So did we disagree on anything?
I don't think so.
No, we're pretty much on the same page,
I think we're on the same page.
Yeah. That was my honest reaction. Oh, yeah. That's fun.
All right, that was a fun one. We'll have to do those kind of sprinkled in. They're quick, they're fun, they're easy. All right. Well, as always, please, you guys can like, comment, share, leave a review on Spotify.
Hey, what do you think? I wonder what the audience thinks. If you're listening to this episode, hit us up on Instagram.
Do you think
be
we're
like,
wrong?
you guys are retarded. Like, there's totally no validity in that. I'd be curious to see what you guys think.
Yeah. So you guys can follow us on YouTube at Married with Muchkas or on Instagram at Married with Muchkas, or we have a brand new website that Richard has built, marriedwithmuchkas.com.
Yeah.
You can go
Although
check
it's not fully activated.
Yeah, there's not much to do over there, but you can go check it out if you want.
Check it out.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.